So I have a little fascial reset class for you. So you'll just need two massage balls and a blanket or just something to sit on. And we'll come to take a seat. And I just like to kind of sit on the edge of the blanket or a towel, just so the pelvis can tilt forward and the spine can lengthen upwards. You just take a moment to either close your eyes or soften your eyes and just take a moment just to check in, taking a little pause between kind of whatever you've been doing and then coming to this class. Just taking a pause just to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling today, physically, mentally, emotionally. Get that sense of grounding through the pelvis and lengthening up through the crown of the head. Just taking a little check in with how you're breathing. And from there, we're just going to open the eyes and we're going to find a kidney point, kidney 27. So we're going to find the collarbones and we're going to find the sternum. And we're just going to kind of drop off the end of the collarbone at the edge of the sternum. You may find like a little divot there. And we're just going to create a tapping motion. Doesn't have to be anything too hard, but just beginning to kind of stimulate this area. It's often thought of as like a little reset button, an emotional reset button. So just creating this tapping, stimulating this point, and just do this for about 60 seconds. Don't need to do anything for too long, not too hard. Just creating this energetic connection between our fingers and this point. And then from there, just begin to release that. And just take a moment just to check in, notice any changes that may have occurred. And then from there, we're just going to take our hand to, again, kind of that where the collarbone is on the right side. And you're just going to pull the skin down, and then we're going to lift the chin away. So create this kind of fascial stretch here. And again, we don't have to do anything we don't have to kind of go to our end range maximum here. Just begin to feel where that kind of gentle tug of the tissues is. And you can kind of move the chin with the head side to side. You can move the chin kind of forward and back, just kind of feeling into there. And again, we're just feeling for that kind of gentle tugging, that first level of kind of resistance in the tissues. And then you can just kind of pause and hold, or you can continue with some kind of gentle movement. And you can use the chin kind of jutting away, kind of moving the jaw side to side. You'll feel this kind of up into the jaw, kind of around the ear. Hold it for a few more seconds. Just begin to feel a sense of softening and releasing. Then slowly releasing the head and then bringing it over to the other side. So bringing the hand onto the collarbone on the left side, pulling the skin down, and then begin to lift the chin away. And we're just finding that first level of kind of resistance. I think often we kind of want to kind of go to our end range and the biggest stretch, but often just kind of going to that first level of resistance can create a big shift because our body feels safe and we can just kind of pause into it. And again, you can move the head, move the chin, or just kind of pause and hold. Noticing if one side feels a little kind of stickier than the other side. And We'll slowly begin to ease our way out of that. And then we'll come onto our back. And you'll want your balls kind of either side of you. But first of all, we're just going to come into this kind of bent knee sitting position. We're going to bring our hands behind the knees. And I'm just going to curl around our spine back. Just creating this sense of tensioning through the back of the body. And then keeping that rounding, just begin to bring the forehead towards your knees. It may not get there completely. Again, feeling this tensioning through the back of the body. And then from there, begin to elongate and lengthen up through the spine. So again, we're going to curl around through the spine. And then we're going to bring our forehead towards our knee, keeping that rounding. And then begin to lengthen the spine upwards. And again, round and curl, keeping that round and bringing the forehead towards the knees. And then begin to lengthen up. This time we're going to round and curl. I'm just going to slide our feet up and then just slowly begin to roll onto our back. Placing one foot down and then the other. From there, you're going to lengthen your left leg long. Take your massage ball and then you're just going to place it kind of around where the bottom tip of the shoulder blade is, more or less. And then we're just going to bring that knee back up, lengthen your right leg long, bring the second massage ball onto the other side, and then begin to actually lengthen both legs long into this kind of long opening through the front of the body. And we don't want the massage balls too hard. If you find they're too hard, you can pop maybe the towel or the blanket over so it's less intensity. But what will happen is we'll just give ourselves time just to kind of adjust. So very often it can be quite confronting to have the balls kind of pressing into the back. But we just want the tissues to kind of adapt and mold over the balls. So we're going to begin to focus a little bit into our breath here. So get a sense of breathing into the rib cage, into the front, the back, the sides. So the ribs will kind of press a little bit more into the balls as you expand. And then as you exhale, just getting a sense of just kind of sinking into the balls, feeling any of that tension that might be meeting the balls beginning to dissipate there. And we'll do that a few more times. So breathing and expanding into the ribs. And then as you exhale, you get this sense of softening, melting over the balls. Do that a couple more times, hopefully begin to feel a shift as we work with the breath and work with our nervous system at just beginning to get rid of a little bit of that bracing and that tension that might be meeting the balls there. And we'll take one more breath like that. Getting a sense of melting over the balls as you exhale. And then from there, we're going to bring our arms out to our sides. We're going to take our right hand across the body, and then reaching it overhead and back around to its starting position. Taking the left hand, crossing it across the body, circling around the head, and then bringing it back to its starting position. So just beginning to compress a little bit more into one side with the ball. And then this creates like a hydrating effect back through the tissue as we kind of compress into one side and then bring ourselves out. Also getting a little bit of shoulder motion and opening through the chest. And these arm circles can be nice and slow, which can be very soothing for the nervous system. So just getting into a nice rhythm of movement. Just do one more to each side. And then just taking a moment and just noticing, is there a change? Is there a difference? Does it feel a little bit less confronting with the balls? And then from there, we're going to bend one knee and then bend the other, just rolling a little towards one side, removing the ball, and leaning to the other side and removing the other ball. And just taking a moment again just to pause. You can keep the balls into your hands. And just taking a moment just to check in. How do you feel now, physically, mentally, emotionally? You're going to press your hands into the balls. Again, just a gentle activation, just feeling through the back of the shoulders, the back of the arms there. And then slowly release that. You're going to roll the pelvis. So we're going to tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling, begin to imprint the low back into the ground. And we're just going to roll one vertebra up at a time, coming up into our bridge pose. Just noticing how you feel around the pelvis, the front, the back, the sides. And then slowly begin to roll your way down, one vertebra at a time. You can take it nice and slow. Just getting a sense of really mobilizing through the spine and the pelvis here. And then we'll do that again, rolling up one vertebra at a time, coming up into your bridge lift. And then once again, begin to roll down one vertebra at a time. Allow the pelvis to come down last. And again, rolling up. This time you're going to take the one ball underneath each glute, kind of at the top of the glute here. And we're just going to lower the pelvis down. Just taking a moment just to feel, how does that feel? And then allow the pelvis to rock side to side, almost like it's a boat just swaying gently on a lake. And you may need to kind of readjust if the balls kind of want to go off in their own direction. But we're just kind of swaying the pelvis side to side, just allowing the balls just to sink through the layers of the tissue here. And resetting when you need to. Good. And then from there, just going to lift the pelvis, remove the balls, just keeping them to the side there. Taking the feet a little bit wider than hip distance, and then just allow the knees to sway over to the right, and then over to the left. And then just allowing the knees to sway side to side like windshield wipers. And again, just checking in, how does this feel? How does the pelvis feel? How do the muscles feel around the pelvis? Does it feel nice and easy? Is there areas of restriction or pulling or tugging? Just observing, so there's no kind of right or wrong, just kind of observing our body in this moment. And then the next time the legs are over to the right, we're going to pause there. You can either stay as you are, or if you'd like an extra little bit of help through this left thigh, you can place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. If that creates any uncomfortable sensations around the knee, you can just bring the foot down. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to tilt the tailbone. So we're going to lengthen through the low back and begin to lengthen the knee away. And then we're just going to rock our pelvis back. So we're going to go into an anterior and then posterior tilt of the pelvis. So we're just kind of rocking the pelvis back and forth, and you may feel this kind of nice kind of pulling or tugging sensation, like a flossing sensation through the front of this left thigh. And again, it's very gentle. We're not kind of forcing ourselves into any particular position, but we're just kind of gently bringing ourselves into this position and then bringing ourselves back again. And we'll do one more of those. And then just release the right foot down if it was on top of the left knee. And then just sway the knees side to side once again. The next time the knees are over to the right, so the same side, we're just going to stack the knees and then come onto our right side. So we're in this kind of, just turn this way so you can see. So we're in this kind of mermaid seated position, and you're just going to slide your right hand down, come onto the elbow, and then take the left arm over the ear. And you can get a sense of lengthening this pelvis away as you reach the arm overhead. Just taking a breath or two into the rib cage here. And then we're going to use this left arm to bring us up, come onto the hand, and then slide ourselves up. This left hand comes onto the left foot, reaching the right arm overhead. And again, sliding this right hand down, taking the arm overhead. You can lift and expand through the rib cage here, and then bring yourself back up once again. So just going from side to side. And again, you can just really take your time with this movement. Good. And then the next time we bring ourselves over, we're going to bring ourselves onto our forearms. And then we're just going to round and puff our rib cage up towards the ceiling. And then from there, we're going to arch through the spine, so getting a sense of kind of you tilting the pelvis and then arching through the spine. And then you can press into the forearms and begin to round through the spine. And I'm just getting this really delicious stretch from all the way from my pelvis up to my arm here. And you can just really begin to feel these connections through the body. So the shoulder really is connected to not just kind of the like where we think the shoulder is. It has all of these connections down through the ribs and into the pelvis. And then from there, we're just going to slide our right hand onto the ground and just come back onto your back once again. So just stay this way so you can see. And then from there, we're just going to again come into those bridge lifts. So getting that segmental control through the spine, rolling up through the spine. And then just notice, does that feel different from the first time? How does that feel through the pelvis, through the front, the back, the sides? Begin to roll your way back down. I mean, it feels a lot easier and a lot freer. And then from there, we're just going to roll our way back up once again. And roll our way back down. We'll do that one more time. Just really taking our time, getting that sense of peeling each section of the vertebra one at a time, and then rolling one vertebra down at a time. And then taking the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. And again, just swaying to the left, to the right. I'll just do that a few times, just this more kind of dynamic movement coming into internal and external rotation of the hips. And then the next time you're over to the left, pausing, you can either stay as you are or place the ankle on top of the thigh. And then again, we're going to lengthen through the low back, through the tailbone, lengthening through that right knee. And then from there, just softening it and beginning to allow a little bit of an arch through the back. And then again, lengthening. So again, it's a very gentle kind of rocking motion. We're working with our body, we're not fighting against it, just to get the sense of kind of flossing through the tissues. So we have this kind of sense of ease through the tissues here. And one more like that. And then from there, bringing the knees up, just swaying side to side a couple of times. And then from there, when the legs come to the left, once again, we're going to bring ourselves into this kind of seated position, this kind of mermaid position, sliding this left hand down, taking the right arm up and over. Just pausing here for a couple of breaths, breathing into that rib cage, getting a sense of expansion through the sides of the body. And then from there, bring yourself up, right hand onto right foot, and then taking it in the other direction. And then we'll just flow between the two sides. And again, you can really take your time with it, so you can really begin to feel the tissue. So again, it's the sense of working with the body. We're not fighting it. We're not kind of forcing it into any particular shape or form. Just kind of exploring these kind of different shapes. And then the next time you come down, you're going to bring your forearms down. And then get a sense of kind of rounding and puffing the ribs up towards the ceiling. And then just begin to soften and extend through the spine. And round. Push the ground away with the forearms. And extend. Do that one more time. Good. And then from there, slide back onto my back. And then once again, just going to roll up through the spine. So hopefully the pelvis is feeling a little bit more freer now. And begin to roll your way down. And again, rolling up. And rolling one vertebra at a time down. Taking hold of your balls once again. Rolling your way up. And again, placing the balls kind of at the top of the glutes here. And then this time, I'm just going to kind of bounce on the balls. So just getting a sense of kind of softening around the pelvic floor, around the glutes, around the pelvis. It's kind of this like jiggling motion. So many of us hold a lot of tension in this area, and it's nice just to get a sense of letting that go. And then from there, just lifting the pelvis, moving the balls to the side, rolling down. Bring one knee at a time in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, rocking a little side to side. Bring the hands behind the backs of the thighs and either rolling your way up into a seated position or rolling onto your side. And you're just going to cross your legs And then bring yourself into a quadruped position. So similar to what we was doing on our back, we're going to curl the tailbone under round through the spine, and then begin to sit your hips back towards your heels, keeping that curl. And then from there, you're going to let that go and then bring yourself forward. So again, curling the tailbone under, getting as much curl through the tailbone as you can, and then sit yourself back, keeping that curl, and then soften and release, and then bring yourself forward. Do that one more time, round and curl through the spine. Sit your hips back towards your heels, and then release and unfurl and bring yourself back. And then we're going to take our right hand, reach it up towards the ceiling, and then thread it underneath the left, as if you're reaching for kind of the remote underneath the sofa. And then going to reach the arm back and up. And again, thread it through. Make this nice opening through the back of the shoulders, the back of the rib cage. The last one, reaching it under. And then from there, step your right foot forward. Take your right hand and reach it up towards the ceiling. And then get a sense of reaching the arm back in space, keeping the back of the neck nice and long, and almost as if you're kind of pressing the head back in space, maybe even dropping the chin, the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then from there, circle the arms up overhead. Release the right arm down, keeping the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis over the knee, so we're not kind of in a deep lunge here. And then side stretch over to the right, dropping that right arm down. Getting a sense of reaching through the fingertips, getting this elongation and length through the whole left side of your body. Bringing yourself back to center. You're just going to spin this left foot back behind you. And then just begin to lunge into this right leg. So if you have any like pelvic pain or groin pain, maybe not going as far, but it's just a controlled movement and bringing yourself back. And last one. Good. And then from there, just going to straighten this right leg. Bring this left hand down. So right arm reaches up and over. And again, like we was doing in the mermaid stretch, getting the sense of the rib cage reaching up and lifting towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our hands forward, curl the left toes under, lift the knee, and then just step into a wide legged forward bend. Reaching your hands forward and getting a sense of the hips reaching back in space. Then you're going to just bend this left knee, take your right hand onto either the ankle or the shin, and just get a sense of spinning the rib cage to the left and appearing underneath that left shoulder. Walking the hands in, straightening the legs, bringing yourself up to stand. Your right toes are going to face forward, bend into this right knee, bring yourself into a warrior two position. You're going to take the left hand back down behind you, and then take the right forearm overhead. Releasing the hands down, step back, downward dog. Press down through the hands and allow the shoulders to lift towards the ears. So the shoulder blades slide up the back. And then lower the knees. Make your left hand reach it up. And then reach it underneath the right. As you inhale, you're opening and expanding through the front. And as you exhale, you're reaching and expanding and getting that nice tensioning through around the shoulder blades. Do that one more time. And then step the left foot forward. You're going to reach that hand towards the ceiling and then get a sense of rotating the ribs, reaching that arm back, and then get a sense of, rather than kind of jutting the chin, getting a sense of pressing the head back, maybe even allowing the ear to drop towards that right shoulder. And then from there, we're going to circle the arms up. Left hand reaches down. We want to keep the hip over the knee and then side stretch over to the left. Releasing back to center. You're going to spin this back foot in, and we're just going to lunge into this left leg. And again, it should be nice and controlled, so no pain or discomfort. You're going to spin this foot, this leg straight. Take your right hand down, reach that left arm up and over, get this sense of expansion through the rib cage. Then bring the hands down, just spin around here, straightening through both legs, reaching the hands forward, and getting a sense someone is pulling back the pelvis. Then you're going to bend into this right knee. Left hand comes to the outside of the right ankle or shin, and then rotate and look under this right arm. This left elbow may bend. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Come all the way to stand. Left foot faces forward. Coming into a warrior two. Right hand comes down that back leg. Forearm onto thigh, taking the arm overhead. Spinning down, down dog. Again, get a sense of pushing the ground away with your hands. Shoulder blades can slide up the back. Get a sense of length through the spine. Lower the knees. And I'm just going to repeat that sequence one more time. So we're going to take our right hand, reach it up. This time we're going to come onto the side of the head, interclasp the hands together, and get a sense of pushing the knuckles away. I'm just going to pause for a couple of breaths. You can get a sense of kind of swinging the pelvis a little bit more to the right, breathing into the back of the rib cage there, and then placing the left hand down, stepping the right foot in, opening and expanding through this right arm. Sweep the arms up. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches up. Release the hands, spin that back heel, back foot back. And then this time we're going to make this a little bit more dynamic. So we're going to use this left hand as we bend into this knee to bring forward. And then as we come up, we're again creating this side stretch through this side. So we're going to lunge and then bring ourselves back up. And then there's a moment of suspension at the top, and then we swing down and up. Swing down and up. And last one. Good. And then from there, we're going to bring ourselves into side stretch. Bring the hands down. Lift that back knee. We're going to go straight into the hand onto the outer ankle, reaching this left hand forward. Have a bend into that left knee. And then from there, bring yourself all the way up. Coming into your warrior two, we're going to sweep into our extended warrior. Actually, for a couple of breaths, just going from side to side. You may even just kind of explore all of these kind of positions then down into your downward facing dog. Just taking a breath here. Lowering down onto the knees. Left hand reaches up. Thread it under, coming onto the side of the head. Keeping the chin nice and tucked. You're going to clasp the fingers, press the knuckles away. Breathe into the back of the ribs, the shoulders. Placing the right hand down. Step the left foot. Nice big opening through the chest here. Sweep the arms up. Take this left hand down, reaching the right arm up. Release it down, swing this back foot back. And then going into this dynamic side lunge. And again, there's this moment of suspension where we're creating this kind of side bend, and then we swing down. And then from there, we'll come into our side plank variation. Bringing ourselves into our swing around, so I'm not facing the back of you. So left hand onto right knee, reaching the right hand forward. And then from there, bringing yourself all the way up, spinning the left toes forward into your warrior two. And again, you can flow and explore all of these kind of areas. So not just moving in one particular range of movement, and then back to your downward facing dog. And just taking a couple of breaths here. Press the ground away, length through the spine. So we've done a lot of work around the pelvis and the rib cage, and just kind of sensing in and feeling into how that feels. And then from there, we're going to bring our right knee to our right wrist, coming into a pigeon. If this doesn't work for you for your knees, then you can come onto your back or a seated variation. So again, you can kind of have a little wriggle here, or come more into stillness. And I'm going to step back, downward dog. Step the left knee towards the left wrist. And again, kind of have a wriggle, move around, or you can stay more still, depending on kind of how it feels in your body, what you feel your body needs. And then from there, back to your downward dog. Maybe taking some sighs out through the mouth. Lowering the knees. Going to take a seat. You're just closing the eyes. And again, just taking that little pause. Pause between kind of going back into your day, back to doing whatever that needs to be done at this moment, and just checking in with yourself. How do you feel physically? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel emotionally? Has there been a shift from when you began the practice? And for me, there has. And I hope there has for you too. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.